I invite you to let this story calm your mind and soothe your heart. Clover and Pea, A Tale of Empathy. This story is about a girl named Clover and a deer named Pea who form a deep bond through empathy and overcome various challenges together. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there lived a little girl named Clover. Clover's heart was as big as the sky, filled with kindness and love. Each day, Clover ventured into the woods to admire the beauty of nature and make friends with the animals that inhabited the forest. One sunny afternoon, Clover heard a soft whimpering sound coming from a thicket of bushes. Curiously, she followed the sound and discovered a young deer, who she later named Pea, caught in a tangled mess of brambles. Without a moment of hesitation, Clover gently freed Pea from the thorns that pricked its delicate fur. He looked at Clover with wide, grateful eyes and nuzzled her hand in appreciation. From that day on, Clover and Pea became inseparable friends, exploring the forest together and sharing countless adventures. One chilly autumn evening, a sudden storm rolled in and the wind howled through the trees like a ghostly wail. Clover ran to find Pea, worried that her friend might be scared or in danger. She found Pea shivering under an old oak tree, its branches creaking under the force of the storm. Clover hugged Pea tightly and whispered soothing words to calm her friend. Understanding each other's fears, they stayed close, huddled together until the storm passed. As the days grew shorter and winter approached, food became scarce in the forest. Clover noticed that Pea was growing thinner and weaker. Determined to help her friend, Clover gathered nuts, berries and leaves every day, sharing her findings with Pea. One morning, Clover found Pea lying on the forest floor, too weak to stand. With tears streaming down her face, Clover carried Pea to her family's cottage, where she looked after her friend with tender care. Slowly but surely, Pea regained her strength, thanks to Clover's unwavering love and empathy. When spring finally arrived, the forest blossomed with new life, and Pea was once again healthy and full of energy. Clover and Pea celebrated the season of renewal with joyful hearts, knowing that their bond had grown even stronger through their trials. Clover understood that empathizing was more than just feeling another's pain. It was about standing by their side and helping them through it. Pea and Clover continued to live happily in the forest, their endearing friendship a shining example of the power of empathy and love. Another story awaits to soothe your heart. Frisia and the Kind-Hearted Giant. This story is about a young girl named Frisia and her bond with a kind-hearted giant named Violet, fulfilling the theme of connection and mutual respect. Once upon a time, in a village nestled between towering mountains and lush forests, lived a young girl named Frisia. Frisia was known for her adventurous spirit and kind heart, always helping her fellow villagers in times of need. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky blazed with hues of orange and pink, Frisia set out on one of her many explorations into the forest. She wandered deeper than ever before, eventually coming upon a grove of ancient trees, where a gentle stream babbled quietly. Finding herself exhausted, Frisia decided to rest by the stream, where she soon drifted off to sleep. When she awoke, it was to the sound of faint humming, warm and comforting like a lullaby. Blinking her eyes open, Frisia found herself gazing up into the gentle eyes of a giant named Violet. Violet was unlike any giant one might imagine. She had kind, soulful eyes and a warm smile that seemed to light up the entire grove. "Hello, little one," Violet greeted softly, her voice resonating like a deep melody. Confused but unafraid, Frisia sat up and returned the greeting. "Hello, my name is Frisia. Who are you?" I am Violet, the giant replied, sitting down so she was closer to Frisia's eye level. I watch over these forests, ensuring everything and everyone is safe. The two quickly struck up a friendship, sharing stories of their lives. Violet spoke of the history of the forest, and Frisia shared tales of her village and her dreams of exploring the world beyond the mountains. Days turned into weeks as Frisia and Violet met often in the ancient grove. They laughed together, shared meals of berries and fresh stream water, and grew to understand one another deeply. Through these interactions, Frisia learned the true meaning of connection. She realized that despite their differences in size and world, she and Violet shared a bond of mutual respect and care. One fateful night, a terrible storm struck the village, causing the river to swell and threaten the homes of the villagers. Remembering her giant friend, Frisia ran through the pouring rain to the ancient grove. "Viola, we need your help," she cried. Without hesitation, Violet followed Frisia back to the village and used her immense strength to divert the floodwaters, protecting the villagers' homes and farmlands. The villagers, initially fearful of the giant, soon saw her kind heart and welcomed her warmly. From that day on, Violet became a guardian of both the forest and the village, her bond with Frisia never wavering. Frisia knew that no matter where her adventures took her, she would always have a dear friend in Violet. And so, the village flourished under the protection of its newfound guardian, their hearts forever connected by the kindness and friendship that had bloomed in the ancient grove. Here's another story to bring you comfort and peace. Petunia and Clover's Dreamy Adventure. This story is about a curious girl named Petunia, who meets a magical frog named Clover, who takes her on an extraordinary dream adventure. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests, there lived a little girl named Petunia. She had an insatiable curiosity that led her to explore every nook and cranny of her village. A warm summer evening, under a sky filled with twinkling stars, Petunia sat by a crystal-clear pond, watching the world around her transform into a serene wonderland. As she gazed into the water, she noticed a tiny, emerald green frog sitting on a lily pad, staring back at her with large, curious eyes. The frog's name was Clover, and he was no ordinary frog. Clover had a magical gift. He could jump into people's confidence dreams and lead them on fantastical journeys. Intrigued by Petunia's curiosity, Clover decided to introduce himself. "Hello there," Clover said, his voice gentle like the rustling leaves. "You know, Clover, would you like to join me on a dream adventure tonight?" Petunia's eyes lit up with excitement. "Yes, please," she exclaimed, clapping her hands. With a knowing smile, Clover invited Petunia to close her eyes and take a deep breath. As she did, she felt herself drift into a peaceful slumber. Suddenly, she found herself standing in a magnificent garden, where flowers of every color bloomed, and the air was sweet with their fragrance. The sky was a canvas of swirling blues and purples, and gentle music filled the air. Clover was by her side, wearing a tiny golden crown that glinted in the soft light. "Welcome to the dream garden," Clover said. "Here, anything is possible." Petunia marveled at the beauty around her and felt a sense of wonder she had never known before. They walked through the garden, where butterflies fluttered lazily and streams of crystal water sparkled in the moonlight. Petunia reached out and touched a flower, which immediately bloomed into a vibrant rainbow of colors. "In the dream garden, your imagination brings everything to life," Clover explained. They continued their exploration, discovering a forest made entirely of candy, a fountain that spouted sparkling lemonade, and a golden bridge that led to a castle in the clouds. Each discovery filled Petunia's heart with joy, and she laughed and played like never before. As the night grew deeper, Clover led Tintina to the castle. Its towers reached high into the starry sky, and the walls shimmered like they were made of moonlight. Inside, they found a grand hall filled with twinkling lights and gentle music. "This is the Dream Castle," Clover said. "It's a place where all dreamers can come to find peace and happiness." Petunia walked round the hall, feeling the warmth and love that filled the air. "Thank you, Clover. This is the most amazing adventure I ever had," Petunia said. "Remember, you can always return to the Dream Garden whenever you want," Clover replied with a smile. As Petunia's eyelids grew heavy, Clover whispered, "Good night, dear friend." When she opened her eyes, she was back by the pond, the morning sun rising over the hills. They felt a deep sense of peace and happiness, knowing that the Dream Garden was always just a dream away. Here's another story to bring you comfort and peace. The Honor of Violet and Poppy. This story is about a kind-hearted girl named Violet, who learns the true meaning of honor through a magical journey with a dream guardian named Poppy. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills, lived a kind-hearted girl named Violet. She had deep, soulful eyes that reflected the twinkling stars in the night sky. Violet was known throughout the village for her unwavering sense of honor and kind spirit. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Violet lay in bed, reading tales of valor in faraway lands. Her eyelids grew heavy, but she was determined to finish the chapter. Suddenly, the pages of her book began to glow, and out stepped a magnificent figure dream guardian named Poppy. Poppy had iridescent wings that shimmered with hues of pink and gold, and her presence filled the room with a warm, comforting light. "Greetings, Violet," Poppy said in a voice that was as gentle as a summer breeze. "I have come to take you on a journey, one that will show you the true meaning of honor." With a surprised yet trusting heart, Violet nodded. Poppy touched her shoulder, and they were whisked away to a realm where dreams were born. They arrived in a land of endless twilight, where the sky was a tapestry of crimson and violet hues. The majestic creatures roamed freely, and the air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers. Poppy led Violet to a crystal-clear lake that mirrored the sky above. "This is the Lake of Honor," Poppy explained. "Here, one's true nature is reflected." Violet gazed into the lake and saw not just her reflection, but scenes from her own life, moments where she had demonstrated her honor through small acts of kindness and bravery. She witnessed herself standing up for a friend being bullied, helping an elderly neighbor with her groceries, and sharing her lunch with a classmate who had none. Tearfully, Violet looked at Poppy. Is this truly me?" she asked. Poppy nodded. "Yes, Violet. And it isn't about grand gestures or public recognition. For it's in the quiet, everyday choices that reflect the goodness within us." Violet's heart swelled with pride, not from vanity, but from the reassurance that her actions, no matter how small, were meaningful. As they continued their journey, they encountered a village in distress. The villagers had lost hope as a dark cloud loomed overhead, casting a shadow of despair. Violet felt a deep urge to help, remembering Poppy's lesson. She organized the villagers, inspiring them with her own acts of courage and kindness. Slowly, the dark cloud began to lift, replaced by a radiant light that brought life back to the village. Poppy watched with a proud smile as Violet's honor shone brightly, touching the hearts of everyone she met. When it was time to return, Poppy and Violet stood at the edge of the Lake of Honor once more. "You have learned well, Violet. Remember, honor is a light that never dims, guiding us through even the darkest of times." With a gentle touch, Poppy set Violet back to her wool. Waking up in her bed, Violet whispered a heartfelt thank you to Poppy, feeling a newfound sense of purpose. From that day on, she carried the lessons of honor with her, knowing that true honor is found in the integrity of everyday actions. And so, in the small village nestled between rolling hills, Violet's spirit continued to shine as bright as the stars, a testament to the honor and kindness that dwelt within her. Let this story stay with you. Sweet dreams.